Hello, my name is Andy Greco, and throughout this video, I hope you guys learn the causes, the effects, the solutions that they tried to use, our new solutions, and some pictures of the Pakistan flood to help you go through the experience that the native Pakistani people did. The thing is, we are not 100% sure what caused the Pakistan floods. Some say it was the heavy rainfalls and monsoons that caused it. Some say that it was a deforestation, climate change, and the dams that caused the flood. Both of these suggestions may well be the reason why there was the Pakistani flood. According to njfk.org, almost 20 million people have been affected by the devastations of the flood. From the flood, Red Cross officials say that around 2,000 people have been killed and more than 722,000 homes have been damaged or totally destroyed. Because of the flood, among the homeless, there are fears of diarrhea and cholera being spread. There is also a food and water shortage that has been contaminated by the flood, therefore having people starving to death. There are many pictures of the flood in Khyber, but this is just one of the floods that has happened. This flood destroyed many towns, villages, big roads, and many other croplands, and approximately 1/5 of Pakistan's land was underwater. The floods have blocked off many roads and bridges. There were also other floods in other locations. The many floods were driven by big rains and monsoons. People have managed to actually find their own belongings, which have been covered in mud. Some people still live in tents because it is all that they can afford and all that they can do. The timber mafia was a group of people who engaged in illegal logging. Although they made billions of rupees each year, it was really bad for the environment. Anytime someone talked about the timber mafia, it always ended up that they were doing bad things. They increased deforested regions to flooding, landslides, and soil erosions. This was a big factor to causing a flood. This group has been the cause to some dams and retaining walls destroyed, which are supposed to protect the land from certain floods. In the flood, the people had to get to whatever land that they could if they wanted to survive. Many people who were homeless were starving to death and tried to get to whatever food or water that they possibly could. If this meant pushing for it, they would. Some of the newer solutions, if the flood were to have come back a couple of years after, were to have built dams, plant many trees on heavily deforested land, and people would have drawn up a plan if the flood were to have come back again. Pakistan has made a new record of planting around 20,101 trees. Some of the things they did on the spot was that they gathered as many people as they could, and with that, they gathered as much food and water as they could for the many hungry people that needed it. They also called in helicopters that would supply the people who were really hungry. It would supply them with as much food as it could. There are many effects socially and economically. Socially, because many people have lost their homes to the flood. Economically, because the flood has gone over all the cropland, which destroyed all the crops, which led to poverty because many people have lost their jobs planting. I hope you guys can take in something from this sad but very true video. Thank you for listening.